Thank you, Dave. This call is being recorded, TeamViHOPE call. If you're just joining us, just state what your name is and where you're calling from, or if you have not stated yet, please chime in. Welcome to the call. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Pat Ryan, Windsor, Ontario.
Welcome. Ding, ding, ding. We have a lot of people joining us right now. Welcome to the TeamViHOPE call. Please state your name and where you're calling from.
Susie Crosno, Neosho, Missouri.
Welcome. We're going to give it just a few more minutes here. This is the TeamViHOPE call, and like I mentioned, it will be recorded. If you're just joining, just state your name and where you're calling from. We have a great call ready to get going in just a couple minutes here. Okay. My clock is now showing 2 minutes after the hour. And since we have a jam-packed call, I'm just going to get this call rolling. Dave, if you can meet the line. Thank you. So this call tonight is basically about keeping on your challenge and keeping your challenge fun, something that me and my co-host, Ron Hankey, know all about. So we're excited to talk to our guests, share their stories, and maybe get some ideas rolling here. So a little about myself. My name is Theresa. I'm from San Antonio, Texas, and I've been on the challenge now for 3 years. I'm down 140 pounds. I'm a proud member of the 100-Pound Club and TeamViHOPE. And what we do here is share inspiration. We share stories. We share hope. So what I'm going to do now, we have a jam-packed call. Like I said, we have a couple guests here that we love to hear their stories instead of me. I'm sure you all have heard my story before. So I'm going to kick this call over to my co-host, Ron Hankey, who's going to share a little bit about his challenge. Ron, are you there?
I am, Theresa. Thank you again for giving me the opportunity to co-host with you tonight. Little background behind me. I live in Florida. I've been on the challenge over 3.5 years. I had a drug addiction, which turned into a food addiction, gained about 150 pounds in a short amount of time, 8 months. I needed to find something to help me lose the weight. I tried everything. Visalis came into my lap right when I needed it. A long story short, throughout the 3.5 years, I'm down 219 pounds. I've added 39 in lean muscle. I've done a couple 5Ks. I was able to go out to Vegas and audition for a dream dance job because I'll get to it later, but I love to dance. It's one of my huge passions. So I just keep it fun and simple and followed the system, and obviously it worked. So instead of more about me, I want to introduce two lovely ladies that I haven't even heard their stories. So I'm super excited to hear about their transformations. And my first guest tonight is Susan, who lives in Knoxville, Tennessee. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Perfect. Share your story with us.
Okay, well, before the challenge, I was wanting to talk about my health before I started the challenge. I weighed right at 500 pounds. I was in bad shape. My A1C levels was 9.9, which is my glucose. They was on the verge of getting ready to put me on insulin. And I knew I didn't want that. I didn't want to have to do shots. I seen my dad have to do that, and I didn't want to. when I would go to the store, I'd be embarrassed because my back would hurt so bad. I'd have to ride in wheelchairs. And I remember walking around with my husband. I couldn't even walk even a quarter of a mile when I first started walking without stopping probably 4, 5, 6 times. And that's really embarrassing, seeing I would weigh almost 500 and he weighed 170. But my biggest eye-opener for me was that I lost my mother. She was 47 of a heart attack. And I lost my dad at age 55. He had a heart attack and he had really bad diabetes. He lost one of his legs the day he died. He was supposed to go to the hospital and they was going to cut off his other leg. So I had to take care of him for 3 years trying to save limbs to not get cut off, and it didn't work. He was a bad diabetic, so I knew that I was heading down the same road as them. I never was really taught healthy food or anything. You know, it was they had 5 kids, so it was buy what you can, and that's the way I was taught. And so I knew that after seeing them that I didn't want that. So I started a weight loss team called Losing It Together. And on that team, I lost 110 pounds. And I done my first 5K at 350. I've been on Vi for a year. My sister started promoting it. And then I got hooked up with Kimberly Hines and DJ Jordan, and they have been helping me since. And since then, I've lost 60 more pounds on by. And my kit that I started on was the shape kit until I became a promoter. And when I became a promoter, I started selling up to where I could get it free. So I then became on the transformation kit, you know, because everybody knows free's better. So, yeah, that's my story. And now I do yard work all the time, and now I do group workouts twice a week. So, and I still got 100 pounds, a little over 100 pounds to lose, but I want to try to lose 100 before Vitality thing again. So that's my story.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that, Susan. A lot of people can relate to that story, especially with the issues with your family, and then you taking control of your health. So I really appreciate you sharing that story with us tonight. And I have another lady, RaNae from Mason City, Iowa. Are you there?
I am.
All right. Well, we would love to hear your story.
Thanks, Ron. First, I want to thank everybody for including me in this group. Your posts on Facebook are very inspirational and very encouraging, so thank you to all of you. I've been with Vi for 3 years. I have tried everything that was out there before that. Nothing worked. I was invited to a challenge party, and I thought, I don't even know what a challenge party is, but I went. There was only 2 people at the party. I loved the shakes, and my thought at that time was, all right, I've got to do something. Nothing works. What's $99? So I started out on the shape kit, came home, told my husband, he's like, whatever. We've been through this before, so shape kit, 1 week, 7 days, I lost 9 pounds. So that's what hooked me. Loved the shakes. I became a promoter right after that. I had been on Weight Watchers previously for 4 months, and I lost about 21 pounds in that 4 months time. So when I lost 9 pounds my first week, I knew that this was going to work. So I became a promoter. I upgraded to the transformation kit. I got my husband involved with me. I became Rising Star in 6 days. I qualified for my BMW in 34 days. At the end of my first month, I had lost a total of 26 pounds. I didn't really have a clue how I did any of it. But that's pretty much my story in a little nutshell. I would say just we've been on a lot of different weight loss challenges. My husband and I were the first Midwest Vi regional champions for weight loss. To date, I've lost 153 pounds. My husband's lost 87. We feel amazing. We come home from work and we have a lot of work to do, so there's no more napping, no more eating chocolate chip cookies and sodas on the couch, falling asleep, waking up 3 hours later to cook dinner, eat dinner, and go to bed. That seemed to be pretty much our life. Now we get off work, we come home, we love the gym. We're total gym rats now. We like to go to the gym, we go for walks. We have a challenge group that we walk with every week. Just a ton of energy, and we've done all that before the neon. So I tell everybody that's just the icing on the shake mix now is my neon. I don't know. I tell everybody, I think one of the key things to tell when I do sign up people, a lot of people, I've been there, so I know what it's like when you're so overweight and whatnot. So when you get on that scale and it shows 250, 310, whatever it shows, I try to tell people, that doesn't define who you are as a person at all. It's just your starting point. And for me, I wish somebody would have told me 3 years ago to document all of that. I took a picture 2 days into it, so I do have my before picture, but I said, you know what, it's the most ugliest picture, but it's the most powerful picture you can own, is that very first picture, and Vi actually helped save our lives, so very grateful, and I love my Vi family. So there you go.
Oh, and we love you too, so really, I'm grateful for everybody to share tonight with their story, because even if you've been in the company a month or 3 years, you still get inspired by all these stories. And I'm very touched by both the ladies that spoke, RaNae and Susan, tonight. So thank you for sharing those. And I will send it back to you, Theresa.
Thank you so much, Ron. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Perfect. Just want to make sure. Part of this.
You're cutting in and out, Theresa.
Am I? Can you hear me? A lot of our a lot of this call has to do today is with our challenge groups and making it fun, and switching it up a little and making sure that you're keeping your challenge alive. A lot of us in the 100-pound club and a lot of us in TeamViHOPE, we struggle with that, and it's a real thing. It's a real issue, and it happens to all of us. So I want to introduce our next guest. Jason Baker, are you on the phone?
Yes, I am. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yes, I can hear you. I'm so glad you can make it to the call. I want you to share your story, first of all, because your testimony just blows me away every time. And then, really talk to us about your challenge groups and what you do to keep your challenge alive.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure to share my story with everybody. And hopefully somebody gets some value out of it. Even if it helps one person, it's worth sharing. So, before the challenge, I didn't think I had really all that much weight to lose. I thought I was doing fine. I was very successful. I had a great job, had a wife, had 3 kids, had the house, had the dog, the cats, the whole works, the American dream. But also what I had with that was the American diet. I'd wake in the morning late for work because I just couldn't go to sleep. Rush out of the house, didn't pack a lunch, didn't have any breakfast. Get quarter of the way to work. Hey, there's McDonald's. Hey, 2 for $2 sausage McMuffin with eggs. Sign me up. You can't have 2 sausage McMuffin with eggs without 2 hash browns, right? So, that was my breakfast every morning. By the time lunchtime rolled around, we were talking already which buffet we were going to hit. Was it Pizza Hut buffet? Was it Chinese buffet? Which one we're going to. Then you fall asleep at your desk around 3 o'clock into a food coma. You haven't fed yourself anything healthy all day long. You go home, you're starving. Well, I don't know how. You overate at the buffet. If you still feel like you're starving, you overeat at dinner. You hit the couch to relax. Dad's got to relax, after a long day of work. Next thing you know, your kids are waking you up saying, hey, why didn't you play with me? Now I got to go to bed. So what I was doing was basically sleeping through my kids' childhood because I couldn't stay awake. And ultimately that led to a medical event that didn't turn out being very serious, but left me on my bathroom floor at 2 o'clock in the morning, wondering if I hugged and kissed my kids goodnight that night. And if I didn't, I was going to make my wife wake them up. So when God showed me what my life was going to look like without me in it the next day, that's when I knew that level of guilt of not taking care of myself, not doing the best that I could for my family and my kids, I knew that I was never going to have that feeling again. Now it's my life's mission to make sure nobody else goes through that either. When that day comes for me, I'm going to know that I did the best that I could with the time I had, and I was the best dad that I could be for my kids, best husband for my wife. And, so I just have to thank everybody that's on this phone, especially the hosts and people sharing their stories, because it was stories like this that helped me get into the 100-pound club. Because without the inspiration, without showing somebody that it's possible, you get stuck in a rut where you just think, well, nobody pays attention to me anyways. I'll just sit here, not go out, not go to the beach. If I did, I wouldn't take my shirt off. But now that we've gone through the transformation with ViSalus, I'm 39 years old. I can run a 25K, just 15 and a half miles without stopping. Never did that in high school. I can lift 40 pounds more than I could in high school football. I'm in better shape now than I was in high school. At age 39 and a half, let's just count half ages now. Better shape now than I was in high school, and it's because of the challenge. And the reason why it's been so successful is because of working out with other people and building relationships with people at these VI events. So even if you're not a promoter or anything like that, if you're a customer, come to the events. Because that's where everybody's talking to each other. That's where I met Hankey. It's where I met Theresa. It's where I met all these guys that mean so much to me. So the challenge group is a business model, but it's not for just business, okay? It is for us to help people have the transformation. You do not have to go through this alone. Going to work out by yourself sucks. It's hard. Running 15 and a half miles sucks. It's hard. It's especially hard if you try to do it by yourself. So what we do now is we just take the same stuff that we were going to do anyways, and now we get to invite friends to come do it with us. And we now remember how it was for us when we first started. We didn't go run 5,000 bleachers at 6 o'clock in the morning when we first started. Heck no, we rolled out of bed, we went about our day, and then we tried to go for a 4-block walk that night before we had dinner, So it just started off with walking. But we just did it by ourselves, but then we ended up doing it together as a couple, and then we invited other couples to come do it with us. So now, being hopeful of having a better situation someday is now 3 years later, we've lost 183 pounds. We've built over 20 pounds of muscle. My wife went from a size 20 to a size 8. She's in sizes now she hasn't seen since junior high school. I won't say her age, but we didn't graduate too far from each other, and she's younger than me, I just say that. So challenge groups is where it's at. Get into one. We go to different parks every Tuesday night with one market. We go to a different park in Grand Rapids Market. So twice a week, we're doing those challenge groups. And then we do our own workout together still as a couple on Saturday. So 3 days a week, minimum, we're working out with people and still each other. So keep them fun. Kids at the park, obviously playground equipment is built in. Rotate through different sports. 1 week, bring a soccer ball for the kids to play with. Kids get occupied, you can still do a full body workout with the parents. Go somewhere where there's a beach volleyball court. Play beach volleyball. Go to the beach. Walk up and down the beach with some friends. That's a challenge group. Hey, it's physical activity. So that's what we do to keep it fun and interesting now. Is we go to different parks all outside in the summer, and we just do different types of activities you should normally be doing with your kids anyway as an active family. What teaches the kids at that point is that they will grow up with those memories. Okay, this is the impact. This is the big picture stuff right now. Those kids will grow up with those memories of what their parents did with them. What did their parents do? They weren't just sitting on the couch eating ice cream. They went out. We went to a park. 3 days a week, we were going to a park. We were meeting other families. They were talking with other parents. They were exercising while we played at the park. They're going to grow up in that environment, and they're going to do the same types of stuff with their own children. That's how we break the cycle, right? So there's the hope. You're going to break that cycle by helping these families get healthy together through challenge groups. And that's all I have for right now. Thanks a lot for letting me share.
Jason, wow, thank you so much. Your story touches me every time I hear it. And basically what Jason is saying is never get bored, get your family involved, and there's no excuses. So I love it. I love it. I love it. So I love all the different ideas, and I want to bring Ron back on. Ron, are you there?
I am.
Awesome. So what Jason just talked about was switching it up, having fun, getting others involved. You know I see posts of you hitting the gym, but I also see posts of you doing two other major things, and one is during the week. What do you do during the week to keep your challenge alive?
Well, I do a walking group every Saturday morning around a lake here in Lakeland, Florida. And it's basically just people on my team, but slowly but surely it's growing because people are wanting to work out in a group. And, yeah, they might not be in the challenge, but they will be on the challenge once I get a hold of them.
I love it. And then you also are a dance teacher and dance coach. So how do you incorporate that into your activity?
Well, I actually myself take class with them. So not because before when I was overweight, and I'm still bigger, but I'm solid. It's because when I teach class, I take class as well. So like with my high school dance team, when they're stretching, I'm stretching there with them. When they're doing crunches, I'm doing crunches with them. If they're doing push-ups, I'm doing it with them. And so if I have 3 or 4 classes back to back, I'm doing that every single time that I teach.
I love it. And that's part of being on the challenge is switching it up and having different challenge groups to go to, having different activities that you can be involved with. Now, I know there's a lot of ladies out there in the ViHOPE community that have mall walker groups, that have mom groups that will get their babies together, either go to a park or go to the mall. They have no excuses, and it's the same thing for all of us. Now, as promoters, we are told, obviously, as a business model that we should be doing challenge groups once a week, right? Well, here we are, and just as fun, like Jason mentioned earlier, and like Ron is talking about doing dancing and whatnot, we are doing this to get our challengers involved. We are doing this to get our friends involved. We are doing this to get our families involved. Now, it is each and every one of our own responsibility to keep this going. Now, if we want to have a future and if we want to keep healthy and keep the people around us healthy, this is such a great model to follow and incorporate in our daily and weekly life. So a couple different ideas that I have, some things that I've done with a couple of local friends here and other people that I have in the ViHOPE community. We go to a park and we jog. We go to a park and we run. We split up. We have some that bike ride. Other days we'll meet at the gym. We get free guest passes. Check with your local gym. If you're a member of the gym of, say, an LA Fitness or a Gold, ask for guest passes. They will give them to you. This is something that we've been able to incorporate, and we love it because not only are we just going outside, sometime in Texas, it gets really hot here. So we want to be inside and utilize, actual gym equipment. Find somebody that has an apartment with a free gym. Make a challenge group there. Our challenge groups are 3 or more people. We can do that. That's a family, right? So the point of this call was basically just to reincorporate how to bring fun back into your challenge. And I sincerely hope that we've given everyone on this call tons of ideas to go and get your communities and yourself healthy. So, again, this call has been recorded. Thank you, everybody, for sharing their stories on the call. Thank you so much. This call is officially over.